All right. Stream is back up. Thank God. It took a minute. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Roy's Repair and Resale. My name is Roy. I do repairs and resale. Sometimes we fuck it up. Other times we get it fixed and everybody's happy. So that's what we're going to attempt to do today. Happy Saturday, everybody. It was lovely to see your faces, even though I cannot see your beautiful faces. Oh, it's going to be a lovely Saturday. I hope everybody is doing well. Oh, just getting myself a bit organized over here. We are going to have ourselves a grand old time today. All right, and just making sure all the stuff's there. It is tremendous. All right, as usual, we're going to give a little bit of time for people to get in here. Have ourselves a grand old time fixing some stuff. Everybody loves stuff, right? Right. That's why we do the stuff. Oh. First and foremost, hydration. Very important. Oh, let's see what we got in the hydration department today. Oh. Looks like we are going with cherry starburst. That's what we're doing today. Oh, hell yeah. Salud. Happy Saturday. Nope. There is flour all over my starburst cherry. That's not good. I don't even remember having flour as part of this, but here we are. Anyway, salud. All right, we got all kinds of stuff we can work on tonight. So we got some PS5s. We got an Xbox that I thought I fixed that is not fixed. We got controllers. I got all kinds of stuff that we can work on tonight. So we'll probably start off with something easy and then work our way towards something a little more difficult. Sounds great to you? Fantastic. I can't hear your response. Doesn't matter. That's what we're going to do. Oh, big stretch. Hold on. Oh, big stretch. Oh, God. It has been a week. It has been a hell of a week. So, being able to come on stream and just hang out with you guys for a little while, do some repairs, just kind of take the load off of this week, man. It has been a week from hell. So it's really nice to be able to just come, relax, do some repairs. Probably get a little grumpy during some of the repairs, but it's fine. It's fine. Just whatever. But it is nice to just be able to unwind and let my ADHD run wild on these consoles. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll give it about another 2 or 3 minutes here. Hey, Chris. Good to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Why is this not working? Hold on. Oh, do I have to do this all over again? All right, well, I'm gonna, yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's just do a test real quick. Alright, this doesn't want to work for some reason. Oh, there we go. Alright, it was just way down there. Alright. I did test all of this beforehand. Why is nothing else working right now? Okay, that one's working. Alright, just getting some stuff fixed up here, guys. Bear with me. Yeah, that's fine. Add source. Add source. Whoa, hello. There's my face. Okay, there we go. And drop that down there. There we go. Okay, that's good. That doesn't exist right now. I'm not breaking anything. It's being stupid. Delete. Edit source. Source. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And let's just double check and make sure the thermal camera works because I have a feeling we might need it tonight. I'm glad I double checked all of this before I started doing shit. Okay. Alright, we're set up and ready to go. Deactivate. Activate. I'm not breaking nothing. Okay, let's just delete this and we'll re-add it. We will add a new one. Add new source. No, I didn't break anything. Fucking Streamlabs is stupid. Just a minute. We'll get going here in a second. Everybody relax. Okay, I'm gonna deactivate it. I'm gonna disconnect it. I'm gonna activate it. Why are you being stupid? Why is it always the thermal camera? Like everything else is working just fine. Hey, it's good to see you, buddy. I appreciate you stopping by, always. I am just trying to get my thermal camera to decide it wants to work. I don't know why it's being so stupid. Once we get the thermal camera working, we will get everything started here. Yeah, I know, Trick, okay? I fucking know. I bet you fucking do. You guys are assholes. Okay, let's try and re-add it one more time. Add source. No worries. Hopefully it'll be done by the time you get here. So this one just doesn't want to work at all. Why is it this one specifically that does not want to work? What the fuck? Hang on. Just a moment. Yeah, Streamlabs doesn't even recognize that it's happening, which is why I'm kind of concerned a bit. Like, I hear it clicking. It's trying to work. Oh, this is infuriating. I think I'm actually going to need this today. Oh, this is unacceptable. What the hell? Do the thing. All right, so I'm gonna give this like 2 more minutes to try and figure it out, and if it doesn't work, then we're just gonna go in without it. But I would really like the thermal camera to work, make my life a whole lot easier. Just do the thing. Well, that's the thing, because it is working. Like, I can hear the camera clicking over. It's just Streamlabs. So I wonder if I try to do it like here. No, that's not it. Why is this not fucking working? I'm trying to get my goddamn thermal camera to work through Streamlabs, and it will not work. And I feel like it'll work with everything else, because I hear it clicking. It's trying to work. It's just not working. Okay, fuck it. Whatever. We'll deal with this later if we have to. I really wanted it to work like the way it's supposed to, but it just doesn't want to for some reason. Okay. I'm gonna try one last thing. Ugh. One last thing, real quick. This is the new PC, so I'm still working out some of the bugs. Okay. Hey, all right. That worked. Excellent. Okay. Sometimes you just gotta make it work. Okay, excellent. Yay! Sometimes unplugging it and plugging it back in really is the answer. Okay, let's get to it, shall we? I have wasted enough time. First thing we have PS5, because that is what my channel. Trick, I swear to God, I'm going to kick you in the fucking kidney. I swear to God. I am going to haul my ass across the border, face whatever tariffs are going to come my way, and kick you in the kidney. We have a PS5. This PS5 came in because it is not updating, which is unusual in and of itself. However, one of the most important things that I can advise anybody in this industry is ask your customers questions, because sometimes they will tell you things that they don't think is important, but is very important to the diagnostics. So, what I found out is that this console was recently worked on. It had an HDMI job done, and when the customer got it back, he couldn't update the console. So they brought it to me. I don't know why they didn't take it back to the person who did the HDMI job. Neither here nor there. But they brought it to me, and I'm confident, because this is a disk drive model. If I had to guess, 6-0, good to see you, my friend. If I had to guess, they probably did not put the disk drive ribbon cable in, or it's not seated properly or something like that. If I had to guess, that's probably where our issue is going to be, because someone else was in here, and the HDMI job that they did is not my quality of work. So I'm going to guess that probably it's the disk drive ribbon cable. So we're going to take it apart real quick, and we're just going to double check ourselves. It should be a nice, easy one. We'll start it off with something simple. Well, the power cable is connected, so I'm not surprised there. I am definitely concerned. Yeah, this shit's missing screws. God damn it. Oh. Yeah, no, I know. Trust me, I'm not happy about it, all right? Okay. So, yeah, this thing is missing screws. It's got all kinds of stuff going on with it. Let's just go ahead and get right down to business. Oh. You know what really helped my thermal camera working is if you guys made sure to throw a thumbs up and a subscription on YouTube, and follow me on Twitch for more amazing camera repair content such as this. All right, let's take this thing apart. Like I said, there's missing screws. There's all kinds of, like here, missing screw. There's a missing screw here. Is this screw in? Nope, that screw's missing. Just missing screws fucking everywhere. I swear to God, that pisses me off more than anything, is the missing screws. Like, sure, make the console work fine, but put the screws back in. Yeah, it might be, dude. Like, let me show you the HDMI job, just because it bothers me so much. Like, look how high that port is setting. Let me see if I can get this camera to focus a little bit here. Look how high that port is set up in the console. First of all, I don't even know what this is. I have no idea what this little nonsense is right there. But look how high is that? Is there more shit in the port that I didn't even catch before? Let me get the microscope on here. I haven't looked in depth into this console at all. But this is why. Oh yeah, no, trust me. I am not thrilled with this work. This is the kind of stuff that makes people not go to normal technicians who do things properly, and gives us a bad name. All right, where are we? Oh my God, look at all the flux. Look at all the flux in there. No, 100%. Like, people have to start somewhere, and I get that. But, like, you can see the HDMI pins through. Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I hold my word very sacred to me. Like, my customers are my entire livelihood on this. First of all, look, at least they used flux, so that's something. But you can see the pins. on the underside of this. Like, that's not normal. But the customer said it is working. It turns on. So I will do my best to try and clean that port out a little bit, even though it's not what the job came in here for, because I just can't stand to see that shit. God, that bothers me. Although, funny story, while I get this taken apart, I actually had a customer hit me with the "I have a friend who can do it cheaper," the exact words. It was a... Oh, and this isn't even the right screw. Oh my god, what are they doing? Oh, it's breaking my fucking heart over here. Yeah, customer asked about an HDMI job. I gave him the pricing. He tried to set it up and then came back 20 minutes later. Oh, never mind. I found a friend who can do it cheaper. Okay. My exact text was, not a problem. Best of luck. Let me know how it goes. Call me back when it's done. Yep, and that's exactly what it was. Oh. Gagarine, nice to see you. Hello. Welcome to Roy's Repair and Reset, where we fuck shit up and see what happens. Yeah, so, it was a... Just call me when it's broken again, and we'll talk, and it's going to be more expensive now. All right. Another missing screw here. Yeah, I am more than willing to bet I am going to find a disk drive ribbon cable that is not plugged in. No screw there. Let's get these screws out. Oh. All right. Yeah, no, it's missing the SSD cover as well. Nope, that was missing when I got here. Yeah, and it's not plugged in correctly. Let me swap it over. I knew it. As soon as I saw that it had been worked on previously, I knew that's what we were coming in for. Yeah. When they were putting me back together, they didn't put the stuffing in the right way, and now I'm a little fucked up. Jesus Christ. Like, literally. This customer is paying me $50 just to cover my time for me to do this that the repair shop didn't do the first time. I really don't want to. I don't want to know the job that this place did. But I kind of want to know. I kind of want to take it apart and look at the HDMI job. Yeah, no, I know it's an easy fix, but it's just the point that this place, they went somewhere and got this job done. All right, let's take a look. Fuck it. Let's have some fun before we get into the more hard stuff. So, yeah, that's why it's not updating. It's possible. Now, again, the HDMI does have flux in it. So, 100%, the HDMI job was done, for sure. Missing screw here. Missing screw here. Missing screw here. Extra screw here. Extra screw here. Those are the two missing screws. Well, I have three missing screws. I don't know where the third one went to. Let's just have some fun real quick. Why not? Let's take it apart. Let's see the HDMI job. Just for shits and giggles, shall we? Let's have ourselves a little laugh to get this lovely Saturday evening started. And plus, we know Kate's here for the screw content, so why not? Let's have a little screw content in there as well. All right, let's see what we got here. This should be an interesting one, to say the least. We all know the real reason you're here, Kate. It's only for the screws. These 42 silver bits of pure pleasure. All right, let's see what we got here, shall we? I really am dying to see this HDMI job. I have to see it. Well, I mean, yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. You're not getting the full screwed premium content. All right, that's fair. That's a fair point. Agreed. I understand. Oh, don't you dare, Trick. Don't you fucking dare. Because then I gotta call the customer. Alright. There we go. Where am I gonna put all this shit? I'm gonna put it in the middle right here. Alright. Oh, missed a screw. Alright. Let's have a look-see, shall we? Well, I'm honestly not upset at the backside. I'm genuinely a little impressed. Wait, no way. Okay, hang on a minute. That looks factory, almost. No fucking way did they do that. Did they literally just reuse the same HDMI port and just add a little bit of solder on there? I see signs of flux, but that could easily be leaking from the other side. I mean, that's not a terrible solder job. It's not my work, but that's not bad. All right, hang on. Let me grab my screwdriver real quick. There we go. Yeah, no, I know. Because I see all the leftover flux. And that bothers the hell out of me. Like, how long does it take to grab a little bit of alcohol and just clean it up? Not to mention, you couldn't even be bothered to put the disk drive in properly, so. Again, I'm talking all of this shit because I was told by the customer it went to a shop. If the customer did it on his own, so far not bad. Just learned to put the disk drive in properly. But I am being told that this went to a shop. So I am operating under the assumption that it went to a shop. And he was charged money for this. Alright, no thermal paste. They did not clean up the liquid metal. They could have at least offered, at the very least. But there is no thermal paste. Yeah, I'm going to ask him about it because that's just not okay. That's just super stupid. He just cost him an extra $50 because of my labor. Like, it's just stupid. Okay, so here we are. I mean, honestly, not awful. Yeah, no, and I'm all for a good hot swap. Don't get me wrong. I mean, really not a bad job. Yeah, the dry spot is awful. Yeah, and I think a hot swap is probably what was done here. That would make sense, especially because you can see where they attempted to. Right there, they put a little solder on that leg to try and get it through. I mean, as far as HDMI jobs go, that is not awful. I have seen far, far worse than that. And again, the customer said it is working outside of the no update. Yeah, I mean, and that is a new port. They definitely used the new one. You can see the gold from the pins there. Okay. I mean, it's still a shit job because you didn't put the fucking disk drive in properly. But as far as the actual solder work goes, that's not awful. I have definitely seen worse. All right, fair enough. I stand corrected as far as that part goes. All right, now let's fix it so we can fucking update his console. So soldering job, like B plus, not terrible. Taking care of the customer and finishing the job properly, attention to detail, D minus, very bad. Especially with missing screws and fucking missing SSD plate and just way too much, way too little attention to detail for this to be an acceptable job. Overall, C minus. Now, have I been guilty of forgetting to plug the disk drive in and giving a console back to the customer? One time. It only happened one time. And I never forgot again because I always remembered having to have that customer come back to me and be like, yeah, sorry, I fucked up. And yeah, fixed it for him. He still left me a great review and everything because I admitted my mistake, fixed it, and it was fine. But I would have never forgotten again. Customer stated the only time it was repaired was recently for the HDMI job. That is a recent HDMI job. And he got the console back and it wouldn't update. Now, again, why they didn't take it back to the place that they got the repair done at, I have no earthly idea. but I will absolutely be letting the customer know why his console would not update, and he can take the appropriate action. Whatever he deems appropriate, because that is not my place to say. I can only provide the information and let him do with that what he wishes. All right, let's get this thing put back together. Yeah, no, I agree completely. Number one, the customer is a younger kid, probably under 20, something like that. So I don't think he, A, would have the tools necessary, or B, the experience to do a full HDMI. I'm really upset that, well, I mean, it worked, but all the youngins right now. Language. There, all of y'all young. Right? I hate everything about myself for talking the way I am right now. I want everyone to be fully aware of this. $15, you fucking nerd. On God, no cap. Your repair skills is not busting. All right. Shit, when I was 15, I was doing cool stuff like going to jail and being in the air duel. The only thing I was repairing was my record. Oh, you guys got a way big head start on me. Like, I'm talking a lot of shit, and obviously I don't mean a bit of it when it comes to the respect I have for other people who do repairs, especially starting so young and stuff, man. Like, I wish I had the opportunity to have done it. I started doing this like 3 years ago because I saw it on YouTube, and I was like, hey, my ADHD would love to learn how to take things apart and let it just fix it, put it back together, give it back to somebody, and make them happy. That is the autistic ADHD brain just needing to be fulfilled. And I just happened to fall in love with it. You guys are a great community of people, and now here we are. Look at us doing all the things. All right. That's about done. Demi! Good to see you, my friend. You didn't miss much. We're talking trash about another repair company who gave this customer their console back without the disk drive plugged in, and now it wouldn't update, so it ended up on my desk. All because they didn't plug in the disk drive ribbon cable properly. No, and agree completely. It is so relaxing. Like, I genuinely look forward to my repairs and these streams at the end of a week because when I'm working my normal job and then running a Dungeons and Dragons campaign and helping out in my community and taking care of my kids and all of the other things that I do, it is nice to just have this time to just sit back and do some repairs, hang out with you guys. This is my moment of peace throughout my week. Yeah, no, it wasn't. Like, it was just completely out. Like, that wasn't even a good enough. Like, hey. No, there was no clip. That shit was completely out. Am I missing any? No. Okay, good. So all the screws were there. There were actually no missing screws on this. So Kate, you were not cheated at all. They were just in the wrong places. All right. Same haphazard, willy-nilly Wi-Fi cable attachment that they did, because who cares about that, right? It's not like that's important at all. Go. There we go. Okay. Disk drive. All right, ready? Here we go. This is $50 worth of labor right here. Ready? Done. I put it in backwards, but it really doesn't matter. It'll go in either way. You know what? Just for my own sanity, I'll put it back in the other way. Here we go. $50 worth of labor. Done. Hey, Chris, how are you, buddy? I got two Chris's in here. I need Chris 1 and Chris 2. All right, there you go. $50. Done deal. All right, let me just text the customer real quick. Okay. Customer is now aware of the shoddy job that the other place did. There we go. Okay. Excellent. Okay, there we go. And now I have to try and piecemeal whatever screws they actually gave me here, because it is not enough. I think they only gave me one fan screw. I may have to steal from an extra supply that I have. Okay, now they gave me maybe just enough. Okay. Where did I put my drill? There it is. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Looks like I have a few extra screws lying around. I'll put the screws back the way that they were supposed to go. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that, because if the customer wants to take it back to the shop, they need to know what screws were missing. So I'm not going to do that. All right. I did promise the customer that I would update it for him as well. So I'll do that later tonight. I'm not going to do that right now. But it will now update, which is good. Okay. There we go. Done dealing. On to console number 2. Now, console number 2 is another PS5. However, this one is far more interesting. This customer brought me this PS5 because he states that the console was working perfectly, and then all of a sudden the controller disconnected and would not reconnect to the PS5. So he shut it down to put it into rest mode, and now it is a beep every 30 seconds fault. So my immediate guess is probably going to be either blown cap on the Wi-Fi chip, or the actual Wi-Fi chip itself has failed. That's going to be my guess as far as the repair on it, but I don't know a damn thing until we get it actually tested. I swear to God, Trick. I swear to fucking God. Alright, so let's get it plugged in. I don't know why I put the HDMI in. It's not going to work. But let's see. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Yep. Just a beep, no light. Yeah. Disk drive is fine. Power button every 30 seconds. Okay. So I am immediately thinking probably Bluetooth Wi-Fi module. If I had to guess, that would be my initial guess here. This is a... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, we're fucked. It's all bad. Oh, we're doomed. Doomed. Oh. Oh, God. It's worst case scenario. No. No, I wish it was a 1200. I'd much prefer a 1200. Nope. No such luck there, friend. It is an EDM 020, which means it is fucked. I'm being slightly over exaggerative right now because if you have been on this channel for any extended length of time, you know that the repair rate I have with EDM 020 boards is not fantastic. Lordy, lordy, lord. Now, the good thing about this, from what I can see, is that it does not have bugs, which honestly was my biggest concern when he started describing the issue, because I know that when it has bugs, they'll get to that Wi-Fi module first and foremost. So that's why I was concerned that maybe it had bugs. But upon initial inspection, I did not see any evidence of pests. So that is a positive. We may not have Roy's Roaches in repair tonight. There we go. Come on. Remove yourself. I mean, inside is relatively okay. I am seeing some signs of corrosion on the actual heatsink, which makes me a little unhappy because corrosion usually means bugs. But I don't see like massive amounts of evidence about it. And I don't see anything that would indicate liquid damage either. Oh, yeah, that's possible. Yeah. Well, yeah, but the Bluetooth cable wouldn't cause the beep on off issue, though. Nope. What am I doing? You guys can't see a goddamn thing I'm doing. All right, there we go. I'm a terrible streamer. I'm sorry. All right, there we go. Warranty sticker removed. There we go. And there we go. Yeah. No, this thing looks clean as fuck. Oh no. Oh, I really hope it's not the Bluetooth chip. I don't think I have one of those. It's the goddamn AWXM 501s. I don't think I have another one of those. Well, yeah, I did get it from the one website, Case and Parts, I think it was. They actually did ship them. It just took fucking forever and a day to get them. Now, granted, I did order during Chinese New Year, which is fine. I understand, but like it took a long time. It took me like almost a month to get those. Okay. Lift up. Do not have to damage the adhesive. You do not have to fully remove the adhesive. You can just lift it gently, slide them on out so they can still be reused. Oh, really? Okay. I'm assuming that's still China based. Oh, really? Where are they based out of? Oh, that's dope. Yeah, if I can get it from there, that's so much better. That is amazing. Oh, that'll make me happy. I'll pay the extra fee. I don't care. I would rather pay more and have it sooner. I'll have to look into that. That's a good note to have right there. Honestly, I should probably just order a couple anyway, so I have them on hand. 546 is not the same. No, this is a 501. So I don't think I think the revision, the model number matters on these. Yeah, the 501s are harder to come by. I have 546s. I have donor rooms for that. I don't have any 501s. Yeah, get out of here, you fucking bot. I don't have time to deal with you. Yeah, let me know if you do, man. I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a 501 today. There we go. All right. Now, I am jumping to somewhat of a conclusion here, so I am going to do a little bit of due diligence and just double check myself. So the first thing I want to do is check a few volts drills. And just see what we have as far as what's on the board when it's plugged in. So, go into DC voltage mode. Let's get some power going into it. Yeah, that's fine. I appreciate you looking anyway, buddy. All right, so I know we're going to have 12 volts. 12 volts is fine. Oh, I have it backwards, but that's fine. It worked anyway. So, yeah. Got 12 volts going on the board. Do we have 5 volts? Oh. Oh. Or did I just check the wrong pin? I did, okay. So yeah, we have 5 volts. 5 volts is there. We have 3.3. Okay, now I know I'm checking the right one on that one. I'm wrong. Okay, we do have 3.3. 1.8 is somewhere on this circuit. I'll get it under the microscope. We'll double check 1.8. Okay, so 1.8 is absolutely along this circuit somewhere. I always forget where. What we got here? Nothing. These big caps are all going to be 5 volt. Those diodes don't come on until later. Hey, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Is it Gagarine? Or Gagarine? Either way, much appreciated for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. Okay. So, we'll look for 1.8 later. Let's go ahead and get the board out and let's see if the PlayStation gods will favor me today and give me a nice easy one on an EDM 020. They typically do not. They really like to fuck with me on these boards. But we'll see what we can find out. Alright, so first thing we'll do is a quick visual inspection. That is the easiest thing to do and will tell us a fair bit of information. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your follow. Genuinely, it means the world to me. Okay, so quick visual inspection. Let's get the microscope moved into proper position. So the first thing I definitely want to check is behind that Wi-Fi module. And I don't see any swollen or cracked or damaged caps. Let's check around the south bridge. Don't see any signs of burning or overheating. All right, Bluetooth area, or Ethernet rather, not Bluetooth. HDMI circuit. Again, no signs of overheating. SSD. No signs of warming around there. SSD chips. Those all look okay. Right. Yeah, everything appears to be just fine on this side of the board. Let's flip it over. Alright, so that's the back of the SSD controller. That's the SSD controller power rail. That inductor looks a bit fucky. Something to keep an eye on at least. That inductor right there looks fucky. See that? There's like an indent right there on the top. That looks weird. Alright, something to make note of at the very least. And this one too. This inductor looks a little weird. Okay. Something to make note of. Let's take a look around. Okay. Everything looking okay. Back of the south bridge. Inject 30 volts into it. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just ruin all of my credibility in this industry. Maybe that's just the way the inductors look, because that one looks fucky too. Maybe they just look that way. Alright, behind the HDMI port. Everything looks okay there. I see no signs of a lightning strike here, which is fantastic. Hate when I get surprised by that. Okay. Alright, so let's work on my initial assumption first, and then we can kind of move on from there. So I'm going to check these caps on the back of the Wi-Fi module, check to see if I have any shorts. Let's hook ourselves up to ground. And let's see. Short. Short. It's like I fucking knew it or something. Short. Short. This one is not short. Short. Not short. Short. Not short. Short. Not short. Short. Okay. So we have multiple shorted caps on the back of the board, which is pretty much what I thought it would be. So we just need to pick one and inject some voltage into it. And this is why I wanted the thermal camera to work, because I was pretty sure that's where we would run into our problem. All right. So time for voltage injection. Injection. God, I hate myself sometimes. I'm such a fucking shill. All right. Okay, here we go now. No worries. Thank you again for the follow. I really appreciate you coming through. I will see you next week. All right. What is my voltage injection set on? All right. 1 volt, 1 amp. All right, let's get the trusty now working thermal camera. There we go. And let's get our power supply up and running. And we're going to inject 1 volt into, you can't really see, unfortunately, because I don't have my fucking macro lens. But let's see. And it is another cap. Is it this cap right here? Alright, I'm gonna have to try and do this in a weird way so I can identify which cap it is. Yep. Alright, so it is this cap. Back to the microscope. So this is the offending cap right here. And let's see if we can do the alcohol test just to completely illustrate the point, because that thermal camera really needs its macro lens to work properly. Alright, so let's apply just a little dab of alcohol. Yep, you can see the alcohol dissipating pretty quickly around that cap. Yep, soaking right up into that cap over there. Just make sure I'm not missing anything like over here. Yeah, see, that is dissipating, but not as quickly. That's taking in a full amp of current. So that's probably going to be our offender. Let's go ahead and pop that baby off. Let's see if our issue is resolved. Don't be talking about my sus-ass flux, all right? That is King Bo. King Bo be looking real suspect. Suspect? I was going to say suspicious, but then I meant to say suspect, and then it just came out as suspect. Motherfucker. King Bo. RMA 218. King Bo. Well, maybe you're just not cool enough to have the semen flux, all right? Look, the board is getting it, all right? The board is going to get the full force of this flux. All right, so now with that capacitor out of circuit, let's see if our short is gone. So meter is in continuity mode. It would be a problem if you needed to put it back, and you would still have to desolder it. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Not on my end, anyway. I've never actually tried it, though. Also, thanks for coming in, Scaldy. Good to see you, buddy. All right, so now we are in continuity mode. Is our short gone? It is not gone. The short remains. So, did I take off the wrong capacitor? I did. God damn it, Trick. You a whole ass hoe. You a whole ass hoe. God damn it. This is why you don't use magnets. Okay, let's try this again. I'm also soldering left-handed right now, and I hate that. I hate that for me. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I have never personally done that nor seen it done, but that is an interesting idea. It would make putting it back really hellacious because you have to get that small ass thing off the magnet, and that would be a problem. All right. Since Trick was so nice enough to let me complete this job before doing it, before telling me I was wrong, let's go ahead and do it correctly now. Okay, we're gonna let the board cool down for a second. I'm gonna clean up some of this flux spread while I have some free time here. Yeah, that's not a terrible idea to keep the caps from going all over the place. I can't find the fault in that. All right. Meter back in continuity mode. Is our short gone? The short is indeed gone. So, this cap took down the entire board. Now, I don't know if the chip itself is good. The only way we'll know that is to replace that cap, put it back together, and then try to turn it on. Let me grab the donor board real quick. Oh, I've literally done so many of these busted caps on the Wi-Fi module that I'm running out of donor caps. You know, I wonder. I still have all the parts in. I don't have the HDMI. Maybe we'll have a little fun later. Let's get this one fixed first. No, never mind. I've used too many donor parts on it. I just found an old board that I've been using for donor parts that I never hooked UART up to because I didn't have UART at the time. But now, unfortunately, there's a lot missing from this, so not going to be worth the effort, unfortunately. All right. Let us remove the offending cap. Goodbye. Put down a little fresh supply. Just tin up these pads. A little more flux, because everything wants to be difficult today. Although all things considered, this is a relatively nice repair if it actually works. There we go. All right, and I'm going to remove a donor cap. Most of my donor boards are from consoles that I purchased from eBay to try and fix that I could not fix. So I just keep them for parts. But you can find donor boards on eBay for, I mean, you know, relatively cheap-ish. And a little flux. And surface tension just pulled it right where it's supposed to be. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. All right. And let's just double check our work real quick. Make sure that our short is not back. I'm going to be kind of sad if it is. Actually, let me clean this up a little bit. The alcohol helped cool it down as well without putting too much thermal shock into it. Just clean up all that flux. All right, and is our short back? Nope, short is still gone. Excellent. Short gone here. Short gone here. All right, our shorts are gone. Let's plug her in and see if she works. All right, so we're just going to put the ribbon cables back in. We're going to put our clamp back on so it doesn't overheat while we test it. All right, there we go. I am going to put these cables back in as well because I want to make sure if it does turn on that the controller will hook up the way it's supposed to. I'm pretty positive it will. I'm pretty sure that cap probably is what took it out, but rather be sure. All right. Matter of fact, I'm so confident I'm putting the HDMI cord in. That's what we're doing here. All right. What do we think? Yes, no? Have the gods smiled upon me today? Trick with the positivity. That means it's fucked. This thing is broken beyond repair. If Trick's being positive about it, I'm done. I'm fucking cooked, chat. Hey, Michael. Good to see you, buddy. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we got blue light. I'm assuming the no beep is because they have it set that way. Beautiful. All right, let's flop over to the TV real quick. Where's my remote? There we go. All right, we are in now. Will it connect? All right. I've got charging. We are connected. Let's disconnect it. Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, hopefully it didn't pick up that name so I don't get banned. All right. That is beautiful. We love to see those. Those are the best. Excellent. All right. I'm not going to bother putting that all back together right now. No, it was worse than that, my friend. Okay, so we know it works. That's excellent. Okay. Well, good. Yeah, no, it was really bad. It was really, really bad. That's what I'm saying. I really hope it didn't pick up on the screen because that could get me in trouble. All right. I have one other console to work on, and honestly, if you guys are familiar with console repair, I'm gonna need a little help on this one because I am perplexed. So, 2 weeks ago, we worked on this Series S. We replaced every connector on this board, literally every connector. We did the only one we didn't do is the storage expansion slot. Every other connector on this board, including the front USB, was replaced. It came in for an HDMI job. Well, I bought it off eBay for an HDMI job. And all of the connectors had to be replaced. So we did all of that. And then I've run into a problem. Because let's see what it'll do for me today, because it is a mixed bag of problems. So we're going to power it on. Let's see what it does. Oh, it just shut right off. Okay. So right now it's beep on, beep off. I'm going to let it sit for a second. We're going to try it again. Now it's on. I got screen lock. And I get nothing else. So let's turn it off. It also doesn't shut down by itself. I have to hold down the power button to shut it down. There we go. Now it's off. I've lost screen lock. Give it about 5 seconds. Let's try again. Now I'm on. Its console is turned on. I've got screen lock. And still nothing. So I'm going to shut it down again. Now, the reason I keep turning it on and off like this is because it will do different things depending on what happens. No, I've left it on, but hang on. And again, it's not shutting down on its own, which to me tells me that it's not loading properly. I'm going to put some alcohol in the HDMI cord because maybe it's a flux issue. Maybe it's, something like that. I'm taking care of all possible scenarios here. No, it does not turn on by itself. So this way you guys can see the light. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we got light. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ashley, welcome. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now it shuts off. So I think the SSD is shot, which kind of sucks, except I do have a replacement. So let's try and boot it into safe mode just to see what happens. Because, and the reason I'm saying this, I got this thing to turn on with the Xbox logo, the setup screen, everything. And as soon as I started the setup process, it just froze and it wouldn't shut off. So I'm assuming SSD. So I'm going to try and get in safe mode. Okay. Second beep indicates safe mode. Okay. I'm able to get it in safe mode. And it shuts off. So I get it into safe mode and it shuts down. So I can't even try to upload OSU 1 and reinstall the software because it'll just kick me out of safe mode. So I'm right in thinking SSD here, yes? Okay. We can test that. Shorts on the S. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we can do that. Where's my remote? There we go. Actually, I forgot. I do not. A shorted cap, really? Were you able to replace it and it worked okay? Really? Man, I'm super nervous about putting the heat into the SSD, though. All right. I do want to. I forgot that I don't have Crystal Disk on my new PC. So let me get that installed real quick. Wait, is Crystal Disk a BWE software? I'm not a huge Xbox guy myself, so I'm really the wrong person to ask about that. I mean, it's fine. Like it works. Most of the time, I've never had problems with them, and they're easy to fix as far as that goes. I've been a Sony guy since I was a kid. I mean, I'm from PS1 forward. I've always been a Sony guy. So I have multiple PS5s in my house, but I also have Microsoft PCs. I have ROG Ally, which runs Microsoft. I've always been a PlayStation guy. But I mean, it works fine when they actually work. The only problem with them is if the SSD fails and you don't know how to replace it or you can't recover that partition that's on there, you're fucked. Okay, fantastic. It just I saw something on the screen that made me double check myself, but it seems to be okay. So. All right, sorry. Got to download Crystal Disk real quick. My apologies. Bear with me. Oh, damn. Crystal Disk is a big file. I didn't think it was going to be that big. Okay, good. It wasn't just me. Then I was like, wait a minute, what? All right. Well, while Crystal Disk is downloaded, we can start the disassembly here. Well, it's got to extract. Nope. In the meantime, let's continue our disassembly here. Well, Crystal Disk is interesting. All right. Well, whatever. Yep. No worries. I love the PS5 Pro. I don't know about worth the price, but I paid full price and did a full teardown as soon as I got it in here. That is the main console I play on, and I mean the enhanced graphics alone are mwah, delicious, so good. I'm running through Hogwarts Legacy right now, and I mean night and day difference between the standard PS5 version and the upgraded version they did for the Pro. Night and day difference. Surprisingly enough, I haven't had one come through my desk yet. I've been looking online to try and find broken ones, but I have not had success yet. All right, there we go. All right. And let's take out our component screws. All right, there we go. And flip her over. Boop. All right, power supply out. And let's take this little thing out. I despise so much. It's fine. There we go. Remove yourself. Okay. I'm not even going to take the fan off because I don't think it's required. Oh, yeah, I have 6 fan out. Okay, fine. Fine. There we go. Okay, but I'm not going to take the heatsink off. Trick. I never knew. Congratulations. Okay. Oh yeah, I haven't done a shill yet. What am I doing? Okay. If this is your guys' first time here, you're coming back because you love my streams, please be sure to leave a thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, make sure you follow me on Twitch. We're trying to build out the community over there and do all kinds of fun shit. There we go. Shilling over. Appreciate it. Okay. So here is our SSD. Let's go ahead and remove it. Well, it was staying on before, though, is the thing. It was just an intermittent power issue, and I would get screen lock. It was staying on for 30 seconds, just like it would with a bad SSD. I don't think that it's going to change the symptoms on that. But are you saying, like, to see if it consistently stays powered on? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I also don't know which one this is. It doesn't say the actual. It doesn't say the memory space on it anywhere. Hang on, let me check online real quick. I mean, I suppose I could just hook it to Crystal Disk. I'm just interested. Hang on. That doesn't tell me how much memory it has. All right, fine. Crystal Disk it is. Nobody wants to give me the answer. Oh, yeah, sorry. Is it a 512? Oh, yeah, 31512. Okay, so yeah, 512 then. That makes sense. It's just weird that it wouldn't say it anywhere. But yeah, it looks like it is a 512. Okay, I mean, that's fine. I have another 512 right here. Okay. Let's have a look see, shall we? I need to make sure this actually works first. I haven't used this thing in fucking forever. I'm breaking out the old tool here. I haven't used this thing in forever. All right, where's my cord? There's my cord. All right, so I can't show you guys this part, but I can show you Crystal Disk whenever it loads up. So bear with me here. All right, let me. does not want to let me share the screen, apparently. There we go. All right. So just to be clear, I did not put this on here. That's the way it comes now. I didn't know that. All right, so you can see I have 4 drives here. So these are my 4 installed drives. So we're going to refresh it. What do you mean remove it, then power it? What are you talking about? Oh, never mind. Just kidding. Hey, look. I've already downloaded it, and it's a problem. So, however, the drive is not showing up under the refresh. Why is this not showing up? Oh, rescan. Okay. Yeah, rescan is important. Still nothing. Yeah, see, the drive isn't even coming up. Let me try a different drive. Yeah, it's not coming up in disk management either. This is interesting. Interesting. So this isn't coming up at all with this tool. You know what? Maybe it's just the USB port I'm using. Hang on. I'm using one of the front USB ports. Let me hook it up to one of the ones in the back that plugs directly into the motherboard. Maybe that'll help. I have one other drive that should be a clean drive, so that should work. And let me swap over to port B real quick. I have it in A, which I mean should read fine. But let me swap over to B and see if it reads it there. Yeah, nothing. Okay. I mean, this is the cable that came with it. Let me maybe try putting the cable in the opposite way, see if that's going to affect anything. I doubt it, but. Yeah, let me just rescan one more time. Yeah, it's not picking it up. All right, let me try my empty disk. Now this one I know should work because I used this exact tool to get it to try and port a previous set of Xbox data, and it detected the drive. So this one should work. No, it's not though. It's not showing up. Yeah, so no, there's something wrong with the tool. That sucks. Yeah, it's deducted. It's detected on the actual device, but it's not detecting on the computer. Yeah, let me try and unplug it. Plug it back in. Sometimes that works. Okay, so now I have 2 discs plugged in. Yeah, and it's just not detecting either one of them. Okay, well, that's a no-go. Yeah, nothing. Okay. That's unfortunate. All right, well, let's still do some searching around. Let's see what we can find out, huh? And in the meantime, I will have to look for one that actually works. Because I've had nothing but problems with this one since day 1, so. But let's go through what Trick had suggested and see if we can find any shorted caps on the SSD itself. That's fine. I'll buy a new adapter. I will find one that actually fucking works. Alright, so I'm going to clean up some of this thermal putty. First and foremost. Just trying to clear out some of this so I can get good test points. Alright. That should do for now. Move the board out of the way for the time being. Alright. Make this more maneuverable for me here. Okay. Yep. It does appear to be good, unless one of these resistors is bad, but I'm not going through and checking every single one of those. What I could do is I could try to put my other SSD from a different Xbox into this console and see if it turns on. It at least gives me yeah. Horse with a top hat. That is a fantastic name. Welcome to the stream, my friend. All right, so let's try and put I have a different SSD from a different Xbox, and I'd be interested to see if I at least get to an error screen when I turn on the console. I just have to find what I did with that other SSD. There we go. Yeah, I'd like to see it at least get to an error screen, you know what I mean? Once again, as always, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. If you have not done so already, please be sure to subscribe on YouTube. What the hell is going on right now? Anyway, subscribe on YouTube, throw me a thumbs up, follow me on Twitch. I stream every week doing repairs and other hilarious things that I attempt to be good at. Oh. All right, so this is, oh no, this is the same one. I don't want the same one. I want the other one. Yeah, I mostly do PS5s. This one is outside of my comfort zone because I'm trying to get better at it. But I primarily work on PS5s. You missed the PS5 stream, my friend. I already fixed 2 of them. But I stream every Saturday, and it's almost always PS5 work. So feel free to stop in any Saturday. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are the good ones right there. Not only is this Roy's Repair and Resale, but we affectionately refer to it as Roy's Roaches and Roy's Roaches and Repair, because I consistently get roach infested consoles. So I am with you on that one, friend. Alright, so let's put the fan back on just to see what happens when I power it on. Go in your home. There we go. That's right, the king of fucking roaches over here. Just some cheap one. I got it off of. No, I actually got this as a gift. I got this as a gift for Father's Day or something like that. So just a standard cheapo set and cheapo drill. I think I got this from Amazon for like $10, something like that. I invest my money into the consoles and then the soldering and the hot air stations. Power supply. All right. Oh, iFixit is incredible. I love iFixit stuff. All right. So, oh, thank you very much for the follow, Horse, for the top hat. Yeah, no, the screwdrivers and bits, I go through them so frequently that, I mean, I lose them all the time. I don't want to invest the money into expensive tools. But if you're going to go, iFixit is good. Oh. So went straight to beep on off. Yeah. So I wonder if that SSD is also bad. Yeah, this one just straight beep on off now. All right, let me see if I can get you guys a visual here. You can kind of see the light. Okay. So now with the new SSD, yeah, just fails automatically. So do I have two bad SSDs? There's only one way to know for sure, and that's to put a blank one in, which I just so happen to have. Let's see, with no SSD. Well, again, it was staying on with the original SSD that was in there. But that makes me wonder now, because that SSD, the one that I just took out, came from another Series S that I was working on that had a beep on off issue, but it still had beep on off even without the SSD. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Let's take it back out. Let's remove the SSD completely. At this point, this is just for experimentation. Because if it does work, then I have a replacement SSD that's blank. Well, not fully blank. I have to wipe the partition off of it. But All right, let's see what happens. I'm just going to leave it out of its shell. So there is now no SSD in here. All right, 3, 2, 1, no SSD. Well, let me turn this light off real quick. Hang on. There we go. No SSD in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, and now it's staying on. So I have 2 bad SSDs. Isn't that something? So let's shut it down before it overheats. Okay, so then now the other thing is, boy, that sucks. That fucking sucks. And I figured with the intermittent issues that it was having, because sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. So let's see if we put my blank SSD in. Well, again, it has a single partition, but it's from a different Xbox. And the problem is I can't wipe it. Because my goddamn tool no longer works, so I have to buy a new one. But if I put my blank SSD in that only has the security partition on it, does that turn on and stay on? All right. 3, 2, 1. No, that one shuts down as well. Is it the SSD connector? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 3 SSDs is a problem. Let me put the original one back in. I'm wondering if it could actually be the connector that it's plugging into. Like if there's a shorted cap or a blown component or a loose wire somewhere or something. All right, so the original is going back in. All right, so the original SSD is now in there. And again, this one will work, but intermittently. All right, so this is with the original SSD. It's on. and I've got screen lock. So with the original SSD, it turns on and stays on for a little while at least. Like it'll screen lock, like it's supposed to have something there. I still think it's a bad SSD. I think because the other one has different security partitions, like the security numbers don't match. I think it's probably shutting it down because this SSD is working. Like it locks to the screen. But just nothing on the HDMI other than the screen lock. So could it be an HDMI issue? I doubt it because now it's system locked. Like it won't shut down normally the way it did last time. But we can put an HDMI tester in it and test our diode readings. It's not going to hurt anything. If I can find my HDMI tester. Ah, there it is. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I am not a fan right now. I mean, I could just sell it. I'll just sell it for parts. But this is now 3 of them that I've purchased that are all bad, and I can't fucking fix them. And this was just supposed to be an HDMI issue. All right. All right. So let's have a look at our diode readings. All right, so pin 1, 0.78, totally normal. 2 is no connect. 3, 0.779, totally normal. 4, 779, normal. 5, no connect. 6, normal. 7, normal. 8, no connect. 9, normal. 10, normal. 11, no connect. 12, normal. 13, 0.66, I believe is normal. 14, 0.86 again, I believe, is normal. 0.63, I believe, is normal. 16.65, I believe, is normal. Nope, I lost my lead. So that was 16.65. 17 is no connect. 18.62, I believe, is normal. And 0.66 for 19 is normal. So that is all normal. No, 3 Xbox Series S's that all have similar issues. 2 of them are beep on, beep off that I tried everything I can think of and can't fix. Someone said that it could be a NAND issue, but I'm not familiar enough with the NAND on the Series S to be able to test that. And then this one turns on and will occasionally screen lock, and occasionally will even display an Xbox screen. But then if I try to put it into safe mode, it just kicks me out completely. All right, so this is definitely not an SSD issue. I mean, I'm sorry, not an HDMI issue, because the HDMI readings all look perfectly normal. So, I'm not going to bin it just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go online and I'm going to buy another M.2 reader that actually works. And we're going to try and get it scanned, use the discs, use Crystal Disk rather, to get it scanned and see if we can get any kind of data on it. And then get a cloner and try and clone it to the open drives that I have and go from there. So I'm not going to throw it away just yet. I'm not willing to give up on it just yet, but I am getting pretty close. I'm getting pretty freaking close. All right. 2 hours and 45 minutes is going to do it for today. I appreciate you guys being patient with me last week while I got the new PC set up. This thing is dope. It's got liquid-cooled graphics cards and all kinds of stuff. It's fantastic. I love this thing. So I am in the process of getting a bunch of other stuff together, but this was a good time. And I can't wait to do it again. So I love you guys. I will see you next Saturday for more adventures of Roy's Repair and Resale, and hopefully not Roy's Roaches and Resale. Have yourselves a wonderful Sunday. It is now Sunday where I am, so Saturday, Sunday, wherever you are. Enjoy your evening. I'll be back next week.